So you say you don't consider a protest, so what do you consider it?
I see protest as something that's inherently destructive and critical.
Okay.
This, I think, is a constructive movement. We're building the better world that we want to achieve. So the occupation, like the physical occupation, is the creation of that better world in miniature, or that's the way that I see it. That's not necessarily the view of most people here. But.
And has there been any instances of violence within the Occupy Toronto movement as of now?
Oh, certainly. I mean, you get any large group of people together, there's going to be instances of violence, but I don't think that that's really important.
Okay. And what are your perceptions of the movement now than at the beginning? Do you think something has changed from when you guys first came here?
I think we've gotten better at coming to agreements with each other and at managing and planning this camp without having any leaders around. The camp has gradually become more and more organized, and the proposals brought to our General Assemblies have become more and more complex. And we've been getting better at this whole living together without leaders thing. It takes time.
Sure. And given that the government wants to kick you out of the camp, how do you guys think how are you guys going to stay together in the future? What's the long-term plan of Occupy Toronto?
There are a couple of different contingency plans people are kicking around.
Will you comment on some of them?
Excuse me. Well, for instance, some people are already occupying Queen's Park.
Okay.
We've been invited by one of the city councillors, Councillor Wong Tam, to occupy Nathan Phillips Square if we get evicted. Some people are saying it may even be best if the occupation stops having a physical center and instead becomes more of an idea-based movement. I personally don't think that makes a lot of sense, but we'll see. We may not even get evicted. My hope is that the judge will rule in our favor tomorrow. So.
And are you guys considering of doing other strategies than not just occupying?
Well, I mean, all along we've been doing things besides just occupying. You know, we've been marching to raise awareness, we've been leafleting, we've been doing outreach with the community, and we have, like I said, been working on building an alternative model of society here within the camp. The occupation is, I think, at the heart of all of those activities and helps to make them all possible, but without the occupation we could still carry a lot of those things on.
And do you think there's any differences between the different Occupy movements throughout the globe, or you guys are marching for the same cause?
Broadly speaking, we share a lot of values, but every occupation I think is pretty unique. This is the only occupation that I've been to, so it's really hard for me to know, but based on what I've read about other occupations, the values, the priorities, the emphasis on action, the emphasis on leaderlessness, many things are different from occupation to occupation. I like to think of this as a unique thing.
And are there any specific goals that you guys want to achieve over a certain period of time, or is it a more gradualist movement?
I think that's actually a false dichotomy there. I don't know if we're necessarily a gradualist movement, but I don't think we've yet articulated our specific goals. Broadly speaking, I think we want to see large-scale social, economic, and political change. The particular contents of that change, if you talk to 20 different people here, you've got 20 different answers. But I think most people would generally agree that the rich are too rich, that the profit motive has wreaked havoc with this planet, that our political system is broken, and that politicians don't represent the interests of Canadians. So we share concerns broadly. The solutions, not so much.
And do you think that's a problem towards keeping the movement united, the fact that you guys have different approaches towards the same goal?
I think no, I don't think it's a problem necessarily. I think it's a feature of the movement. We're trying to be as inclusive as possible, integrate as many voices as we can. And as part of the process here of arriving at consensus, we really emphasize active listening and the integration of others' ideas into your proposals and into your actions. And I think that by bringing all of these voices of people who are not content with the system as it is together and engaging in this dialogue, we'll be able to come to more consensus than a lot of people expect, if we have the time to continue with the process. That's the kicker.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
Do you mind?